What's up, you guys? Back-to-back videos in 2 days. New for me because I've been terrible at uploading. But today is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope that you guys are having a very good Valentine's Day and that you called everybody who is near and dear to your heart, and that you love or that you care about. For me, Valentine's Day has like never been like this huge thing. It's been like, a day that I spend with either someone who I'm dating or someone who I'm like, romantically involved with, or I, spend it with family or like my mom or my grandmother, like somebody who I still care about and love. So I don't think, I think it kind of just applies to all types of love. Anyway, I wanted to make a video. It's like, I've been wanting to make this video for like a while because I think it's kind of important to talk about and just like another, like, side of this of being like bipolar. I was about to say like this issue. It hasn't been an issue lately. I looked at my mood chart because like I forget. It's kind of weird, and I've been super stable, so it's been great. So anyway, what was I talking about? So I wanted to make this video talking about just basically like how I've navigated my romantic life, or like how I've navigated that path, with all the mental health battles, that's a good word, all the mental health battles, all the mental health challenges that I've been through. I don't like the word issues. I'd say like relationships for me have always been like in the past, or I guess to date, because I haven't dated anybody new. So I haven't dated anybody new, so relationships thus far have been kind of like, they've been great. I've met some great people. I've fallen in love a few times and I still love those people, but it's been, for me personally, I've realized I've latched on to relationships, probably in an unhealthy way. I think just like really like, because I started dealing with depression like in high school, and I just remember like the people I was dating at the time, I sort of kind of like, I felt like I needed them to sort of like, if I didn't, my depression would get worse. I was still depressed, like it didn't make it like better, it wasn't like the magic pill, but it made it like bearable. But at the same time, like that was toxic to the other person at times. I see that now, in terms of just like how I would act, some of the things that I would do, and like irritability and just like, being all over the place, dropping plans, or like, being enabled to a point. I think it wasn't until like college that I realized that it was toxic in like maybe deeper ways, not necessarily within the relationship itself, but it was like bad, like in terms of like maybe I was drinking more, or like, maybe I was like actually like, because that's what, by that time I was having like full-blown episodes in terms of being bipolar. So like irritability was a huge one, just like exploding out of nowhere, explosive, I don't even know what you would call that, outbursts. That was a big one. I think just like also being in like different episodes, like, and I didn't know what was going on, so I wasn't able to explain that to that person, so, or to these people. More so in college, I've dated it's like weird. I'd say I've had like 2 like real relationships while I was in college, and like just in those manic phases or like in those depressive phases, just like I'm pretty sure they were like what's going on, like what are you doing, like who is this person, because I mean like I was like all over the place. I kind of took a break from relationships for the past 2 years. I think it's been like 2 years now. It doesn't mean I haven't been with people, I haven't been on dates. I've been on a few dates. I've like believe I can like do whatever I want with people, but I haven't really been like in a long-term relationship since then, because I realized I wanted to sort of focus on myself, and that sounds just like so cliche and like generic when I like just said it out loud, but like that's honestly like I never understood that term, like what does it mean to focus on like on myself. And I think that like for the past few months, like I said, I've had it like, now I'm drinking again and I'm going out and I'm having fun with friends, but like this past 6 months I was at least for that part. So I think there's different areas in terms of what we can take a break on. So that was like partying and like just getting my life together. But for relationships, it really has been like 2 years. I feel like I needed to be comfortable with like who I am. I needed to be comfortable like just in my own skin. I didn't want to have to feel like I needed somebody, because each breakup or each time that person would leave, or if I would start acting, you know, and like different in an episode, like it would hurt, like it would hurt like a lot, not just because that person left. And like I mean, like I've dated way more people than I've actually loved, so like luckily that hasn't been a problem. I've only loved 3 people in my life, like actually loved 3 people in my life, and like I've said I've loved people before, and like yeah, so like being manic, also saying like I've been in relationships where I've been manic going into them, so like I'm super attached to them, which is like even worse, which is what I'm also now realizing. So I was not only attached to them because I had like attachment issues and I needed to latch onto something, and I felt like I needed these people. I feel really weird saying these people. It sounds like there's just like a plethora of people. But like I also like would be manic. So I remember I was dating this girl like sometime like freshman or like sophomore year or something, like within there. And I just remember like when I first started, I kind of like legit just fell into that relationship, and because I was like really manic, and I was like, this feels great, and I was like I love her, and it was just like all these like feelings of euphoria and wanting to, like when you're manic, it's like these weird feelings of like you have like a higher sex drive, and like you like think you love everybody that like you meet and they're your soulmate. Just like kind of delusional, and you've only met them for like a month or known them for a month, and like sometimes that happens. Sometimes, like, you know, like I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but for me this was not the case. I was just very manic, and then I ended up being in a relationship I did not want to be in, because like at that point I was like, we were official, and it was like 3 months afterwards, and I was like, haha, what was I doing? This is not for me. But after all of these, you know, after this turbulent time, I retreated, and it wasn't until 2019, or like I like basically this year, that I feel like I'm ready for a real relationship. Like not rushing anything at all by any means. I'm not like actively like seeking out like some like my like a future wife or anything like that. I'm not like, that's not where my head's at. It's just like, you know, if I end up in a good relationship and it's a long term, and like, you know, like I'm open to it, versus before it was like I'm going on a few dates because I'm like, you know, can't stay inside by myself all the time, and like, you know, this is like fun, but now it's like, you know, I can like actually talk to the person, not just ignore what they say when we're hanging out, and you know, like things that like actually matter. So I don't know, it's very interesting, and it's very new feeling, and it feels good because I'm looking for someone who can be like a partner rather than like a clutch. Like before it was like, oh my god, I need to find like somebody, and now it's like I don't need to find somebody, but I would like somebody, and if that person comes along, great. If she doesn't, then you know, I'll just keep waiting. So if you're alone on Valentine's Day, like this Valentine's Day, if you're feeling lonely today, especially because you're online and you see like, I mean, like I've just gotten on Instagram and I've seen like a crap ton of lovey-dovey stuff, and I'm just like, all right, like I'm not super lonely, but like even I'm just like, so I like can't say I understand how you're feeling, so I'm not really sure. Valentine's Day has never really had significant meaning to me, but if you are feeling that way, please just know that like this day is almost over. You know, you don't have to be alone. You can call up a friend, text somebody. I mean, like, hey, shoot me a message. My number is on Instagram. Like, I'll respond. I don't have a life. But yeah, I'm like, I feel for you, and I hope that you feel better, that you can get through this, because I know that you can, because you've made it to today, and you just have to think about the next day. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and add this video so I can post it. Remember to like, share, subscribe, all of that jazz. Subscribe button's down there. We'll try to be uploading a lot more videos soon. If you didn't check it out, I did a collaboration, part of Convo Sessions. You should definitely go check that out. I uploaded that yesterday. So yeah, peace.